My name is Eyob. I'm from Ethiopia originally. Yeah, I came here because of the situation back home. So I came here. Initially, I went to Ukraine to study some specialty, and then by the time I was studying in Ukraine, there was war started in Ethiopia, and it was like an ethnic war. So people from my ethnic group have been in danger. I mean, they were being arrested and they were being persecuted at that time, and many people were flying away from the country. So I was also afraid to go back there after I finished my specialty course. So I decided to come to UK until I see the situation. But even if after I came here in UK, things were getting worse. There was like 2 years of war in the country. So I was by the time I graduated, it was 1 year after the war began. So things were at that time worse. So I decided to apply for an asylum. And I applied for asylum here in the United Kingdom, and I was successful in claiming a refugee status. So as soon as I get the refugee status, the Home Office told me to depart the accommodation. I was living in a share house in the borough of Bromley in South London. So I was given even 1 week to leave the accommodation. It's a new rule. Initially, people were told a month prior to their departure, but there is a new rule. So I was told just in 1 week time. So I had nowhere to go. So it is at this time that I was trying my best to get an accommodation. It's in 1 week, it's tough. I tried to get some rent houses, but I couldn't manage. All of them were asking for some advance payments and other things. I couldn't manage all these things. So I saw something online and I called them. They asked me where I'm from, and I told them I'm in London. So they told me there is one in London, so I can contact them. So I went and contacted a charity with working with Just Homes, and then the charity just contacted Just Homes, and I was able to get an accommodation. So I'm really grateful for Just Homes and the organization that helped me, because I would have been like homeless because I didn't have anywhere to go, and I don't know a lot of people in London as well, in UK in general. So I'm really happy that I met Just Homes, and they have been a great help to me ever since I'm here, and I'm glad with everything that I get. I don't know how to thank the staff, because I'm really happy in everything. I don't have any complaint. Our chef is also generous. I don't know in other hostels. I haven't been in other hostels, but the food is even more than enough. So I'm glad with that as well. The location of the hostel is also, it's a good area. It's not far from Stratford, where you can go anywhere where you have access to any part of the country. So I was doing some exams as well during all this time. So even for our exams, when I travel to some other cities, the proximity of the hostel is appropriate for me, like to get even transportation outside of London. So I'm happy to stay here. Everything is good, and the other thing is that at least the people are trying to be like as clean as possible, and the regulations in the hostel are also good, because I can see that people they are trying to do their jobs, and they are trying to be neat. Everything is good. I'm not saying that everything is perfect, but there are some people who are not like committed to their duties, but at least the staff is trying to control everything. So I'm glad with what I saw so far. And I am a medical doctor back home in my country. And then I also studied specialization in gastroenterology in Ukraine. I was graduated there, but as I told you before, I go back to my country because of the political situation back home. I couldn't get back home, to Ethiopia. So that's why I decided to come here and claim an asylum. So when I came here, the process to become a doctor is not easy. I mean, you have to go through a lot of exams, like starting from the English proficiency test, which I did immediately as soon as I claimed an asylum. And then There are lab tests. The first one is a theoretical test, and the second one is a practical test. And I was done already with the theoretical test by the time I got my refugee status. So as soon as I get my refugee status, because PLAB 2 exam is expensive, PLAB 2, half of it was covered by the BMA, and the other half was covered by a charity. As soon as I get that, I took the exam and I finally qualified for registration with the GMC. It was not, again, easy to get the documents from home, because you have to have a lot of documents to get the GMC registration. It's not just qualifying the exams. So in the meantime, I was staying in the hostel. That's why it makes everything becomes like easy for me. At least I was not worried about my accommodation at this time. And I would like to thank the Just Homes charity for supporting me in all this. They have been supporting me during my clinical attachment. I needed some. There are some protocols in the hospital, like dressing protocols. So everything was covered by the Just Homes. So I'm really thankful again for the Just Homes for being behind me and for helping me with everything. So I'm really appreciative of that as well. Yeah, finally I'm here now. I'm done with everything. I'm just applying for jobs. I'm just waiting for an interview. So God willing, then I will start my first job, hopefully in the near future.